The European Union is a unique economic and political partnership between 27 different countries. It has around 500 million citizens, and its combined economy represents about 20% of the world's total. The EU we know today works as a single market, with free movement of people, goods and services from one country to another. There's a standardized system of laws, and most of the EU's countries now share a common currency, the euro. Many of the countries have also signed up to the Schengen Agreement, which means they no longer have border controls or passport checks between member states. The EU often speaks as one voice, representing all its member countries at the UN or the World Trade Organization. And it has developed a sophisticated regulatory structure. This is the European Parliament in Brussels. Although the EU has no official capital, in practical terms, Brussels has acquired that status. Here you'll also find other important EU institutions, such as the European Commission and the European Council. But there is also a Parliament building in Strasbourg, and to find the European Central Bank, you'll need to go to Frankfurt. The location of these buildings owes much to the nature of the European Union itself. The EU we know today is a vibrant community, but its origins can be traced back to events that dominated the 20th century, to the legacy of World War II. This was how Europe looked in 1945. The continent's economic structure was ruined, and millions of people were homeless. Widespread devastation meant that many were starving and freezing to death. Many people believed that some form of European integration would prevent the extreme forms of nationalism that had caused the war and the resulting devastation. The first steps to achieving European integration happened at the Potsdam Conference of 1945. The participants at the Potsdam Conference decided that Germany and its capital Berlin should be divided into 4 zones. They were to be controlled by Britain, France, the USA and the Soviet Union. And under the terms of the Potsdam Agreement, Berlin itself was completely surrounded by Soviet territory.
The idea was if you split Germany up into little sections, Germany wouldn't have the power or the strength to be able to start yet another war.
In 1948, the countries participating in the Marshall Plan officially came together to form the Organization for European Economic Cooperation. This is Maastricht in the south of the Netherlands. You could say that this is the birthplace of the EU as we know it today, because it was here in 1992 that the Treaty on European Union was signed.
The ending of the Cold War also brought about new challenges to Europe. This included the migrations of people across borders. There was a need to deal with new security threats.
The Maastricht Treaty was a major milestone on the road to economic and political integration. The treaty created unified foreign and security policy, as well as closer cooperation in justice and home affairs. And the name European Union came into being for the first time, replacing the earlier European Community. The European Union flag is recognized throughout the world. It was designed to signify Europe's unity and common identity. There are 12 stars, not because of the number of countries involved, but because the number 12 is traditionally the symbol of perfection, completeness, and unity. And the fact that they form a circle is supposed to represent solidarity and harmony between the peoples of Europe. The European Union is not perfect. When governing so many people from different backgrounds and cultures, problems inevitably arise. And no fewer than 23 official languages are spoken by the EU citizens. Some countries would like to join the EU. At the same time, politicians in many member countries would like their governments to leave the EU. Although the size and shape of the EU is very likely to change, it remains to be seen whether Europe will ever be fully unified.